Right into our select board meeting. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, additions to the agenda. I have 3 tonight. I have 2 under new business. One is a cemetery deed. The second is Mark would like to add a deputy health officer to his ranks. And then I have one more piece of old business. We need to re-sign the sheriff's contract that we signed at last meeting because there were some typos that needed to be corrected that Michelle found for us. And we need to re-sign it. And we'll get into it because I can see it on your face already. So the cemetery deed and adding a deputy health officer is new business 2 and 3. And the sheriff's contract re-sign is old business 3.
I have another.
Oh, you got another one.
Yeah, the town road and bridge standards document that you had not had any comments on the changes.
Yes, we need to sign that. So that will be old business number 4, road and bridge standards signature.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded to add the aforementioned items to the agenda. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Okay. My only remarks tonight is, thank you. Is the town picnic went really well. Thank you very much, especially to Hannah Gant and to all those other folks that helped. Both the Cornerstone Motorcycle Club and the one down the road, the Iron Militia, for all their help in traffic and money collecting throughout the day, and all those other people that played a role. Town picnic went really well, and the Vernon Fire Muster, congratulations to our guys. They did a great job putting that together again this year as well. Open public comments, agenda items only, please. Come on up.
Well, just a brief statement. I'm Carrie
Sure.
Amadon from the school board. Josh, sorry. Where would you like me?
Just so
Can
I
you go to the
see it.
chair?
I'll go to
Yeah.
the chair.
Sorry.
Okay, sorry. Carrie Amadon from the school board. Josh and Michelle were at our last meeting, which did not go as any of us would have liked. I know you're talking about the budget tonight, and so I just wanted to be here. I know there's nothing that we can do from our side, but I didn't want to hide from it. So I thought I would come, and feel free to
Sure.
aim your frustrations at me. I will take
They don't even know what you're talking about yet, so.
You will now, so I will just be hanging out, and when you're ready, that is it.
All right. Guest, our auditors are not coming tonight, so we'll go right into the approval of the meeting minutes from June 18th.
I just wondered if, when Gordon asked about the reinvesting the bond, that we should also note that the treasurer approved of that also, but that's our policy, people are supposed to.
Yeah, typically he comes here after he's gotten approval from her. I don't know.
I thought that we had seen it.
We did get an email regarding that as well.
From her.
No, but I just figured it should
Yeah,
be
no,
noted in
yeah.
there.
It wasn't part of the discussion though, so that's kind of funky.
Well, he did say
He
that,
usually says Cindy
He'd spoken to Cindy.
is okay with
Okay.
this.
yeah.
That's fine.
He did say that.
Okay.
On page 2, the 3.1 and 3.65, aren't those percentages?
Yeah,
Okay, percent.
We got those.
Okay.
Jeff sent some edits too.
Okay. So I will seek a motion to approve the minutes as corrected.
So moved.
Second.
So moved and seconded to accept the minutes as corrected. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Okay. Bills and warrants.
I move that we approve payment of the following warrants. 25T, accounts payable, $20,073.15. 24S payroll, $31,110.42. And 25S payroll, $9,444.80. And also warrant 1T, accounts payable, $82,487.37.
Second.
Moved and seconded to accept the bills and warrants as read. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Okay. We will get into the budget versus actual review. If anybody has any questions, now's the time to ask. I'm sure everyone has pored over this since they picked up their packets, so they would understand if they have any questions.
And I did try to figure out what questions you might have and brought them to Cindy to have answered, so I may have an answer to your question.
So planning.
Planning.
What page?
It's the second page,
Thank you.
2.
2. And your question is, why we spent so much money?
Oh, yeah.
Because we had a lot of income. So the extra money that was spent was 2 grants. It was
Okay.
leftover from an MPG grant for 17-18, and the also income from 18-19, and income from the village, Friends of Vernon Village, that also added to the matching grant. So that money
Okay.
spent was money that came in, including a little bit of matching money for the planning commission that was in the budget.
We just don't show
Okay.
revenue in our budgets.
Yeah.
I know,
Okay.
it's very bad.
I did get a
See
revenue
that side of it.
sheet this
Okay.
morning, and the revenue, Friends of Village was 4,000 came in there. Where are they? Highway. This isn't the same.
That's okay.
We got the revenue.
Okay. It says a revenue, that's all.
Oh, there we go, municipal planning grants, there's a lot of them. 3,400, 6,000, there's not a total in here. But I filled out the paperwork, and we only spent what we got. I can guarantee you that. See, I saw the question coming.
Yeah, and the reason the rec department was over is again because we don't show income.
Recreation. Oh, all together?
Mm-hmm.
I did not ask that question, because it was only 4%.
I know.
What is over?
Well, it's hard because some are under, some are
Yeah,
over.
they're all pretty minimal.
Yeah, they're so tiny, I'm gonna
And
say
again,
no
this
on
doesn't
that.
show the ADM grant revenue either.
Okay, so it
That
doesn't
takes
show the
care
grant.
of some of the cost of teachers for the
Yeah,
preschool.
that takes care of the overtime cost for salaries, so, I think that is in here. Recreation income, 21,000, 135,000, there's a lot of income, preschool.
I thought so.
A partnership for the preschool is, received to date 82,000. And then
Yeah.
with an uncollected balance put in, so that.
Because I thought it should. So if these are over, it's
So all
because
those
of
are not-
grants.
Those are not in there.
For the rec, it would be
Okay.
just like specifically like the teachers' salaries and stuff like that are covered by that ADM grant.
Okay. And this, the Vernon seniors, the bus passes,
The bus pass is,
put it over.
that was an income that
Mhm.
came in from, we get, as a town, half of the revenue, if I understand this correctly, from
Okay.
bus passes, and seniors get the other half, which goes to cover gas. So it goes into, the whole thing came in, and the seniors portion of that was $932.
Okay, thank you.
So the town van has its own separate thing on this budget, but the money actually goes to the seniors?
Just part of the revenue from the bus passes, and that is for their senior trips. I'm not sure exactly how the bus pass thing works.
Does that make sense to anybody? Is there a logical reason for that, or?
For what?
I'm just curious why the town van has its own line in there, but then the money is actually
It was,
dispersed differently?
the history that I know, because I did ask this question when I first got here, was that the town van used to be in the highway budget,
Mhm.
but it was removed so that the cost of the van didn't get mixed with highway. Which does,
That doesn't answer your question, but.
No, but I
that's
mean,
why
the
it's
money
still
that is
line.
going into that town van is actually part
He's
of it is
talking
going into
revenue.
the seniors? I don't
it goes,
understand.
but it still goes to pay for their senior, their
Gas.
gas. So,
So we're not raising money for their trips
right,
through the taxes.
But why is gas under the town van though?
so what happened with the town van, say $2,000 in bus passes is sold, all of that money, we have to take all of it as revenue. And then we write a check to the seniors for $1,000 to pay for their gas for their trips. So the other $1,000 goes to maintain the bus.
So does the seniors give the town the $1,000 for the gas then? Why
They
are we?
buy it when they go on their trips.
But
They
there's a
pay-
$1,000 gas line item under town van.
Wait, let me see what the income was. And I could be understanding this wrong, but I asked any.
Because it seems kind of weird to cut ourselves a check back.
We cut the seniors a check. We
Well, the
keep,
money comes back to us to pay for the gas for their trips.
no, we just keep the money that comes in. We have all the money that comes in from the passes, that comes in through the town office.
Mm-hmm.
And then half of it we give back to the seniors.
I understand that,
do
but
we
you
give-
just said then
But
the
we-
seniors spend the money on gas for their trips.
They, when they are physically in the van,
Mhm.
they use the money for gas to go on the trip. The
I-
town doesn't get that money back.
But
We don't.
that makes no sense
That's why they
whatsoever.
get their trips for $2.
We're putting gas in the town van.
Line item,
If- but if-
$1,000
So why-
on that
if-
line.
It used to be more than that.
If they run out of money for gas that's budgeted, that's where that money comes from. So if they're going on a trip really, really far.
So why
away
wouldn't
to
we
pay-
just hold all the revenue in a bank and that's where the gas comes from?
Because they wanted to be accountable to raise the money to fund their trips, I think.
Well, they're not raising the money, it's,
We're
they're
giving
taking
them
it
the
from
money.
the passes. They're
We're-
not raising
we're
money,
putting
they're
it
not
in their budget.
fundraising.
They're not raising that money.
This was.
That's something we can fix come budget time.
Something that was put together long before I got here, and I've actually started working with the transportation committee to figure out how to make van more equitable for the whole community. However, there's been some injuries and some medical issues that have been long-term that have slowed that process.
It's something that we can fix at budget time, it doesn't make any sense to
But-
cut them a
but
check.
when we
to
were
put
sitting
gas
here
back in it.
talking about budgets during budget time, it was not broken out like this. There was nothing that let us know that there was money that went from the bus passes, and that was senior gas, in a totally different line item that still went to the van, that is, we're throwing money at.
Well, we don't show revenue, that's why, and that's revenue.
Let me see what the revenue is.
The budget never shows revenue.
It really should.
I don't know why, it just doesn't.
Well, our budget does now, that we estimate revenue on all of our, we changed that this past year, so every department.
Well, it's just
show
got one
revenue
line at the bottom, so you
to estimate
wouldn't know
revenue.
what it was. So there would be no way for a select board member to ever know that out of the 2,000, because we would estimate $1,000 in revenue, knowing that we give $1,000 to the seniors. So there would be no way for anyone to ever know that that extra $1,000 even exists in bus passes. That just automatically goes to the seniors.
Okay. This will have to be a question for Cindy to, I think, more clearly
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
explain the history of, because I've been trying to figure it out for a while.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. We write them a check to put gas in the van, just keep the money all in the pot and pay for the gas.
Very good.
It's all the same thing.
I don't know how it works. I think the seniors pay for all of their gas for all of their trips. And we don't pay for that. But
No,
that-
the bus passes do.
I don't think that all of that goes to pay for gas. We keep some of it and some of it goes to the seniors to pay for gas. Well, not all of it. That's the way I think.
Why are the seniors paying for gas, but we're using the entire $1,000 that's given there for gas? This is where I'm confused.
Where are
The
you, I'm-
Under town van gasoline, $1,000, $1,000, 100%.
so when that $1,000 is spent, then the 950 that the seniors have goes to pay for extra gas. So if they spend $3,000, they're still only gonna get that $1,000 for gas that's in the budget. And remember, there's more gas that goes into that van than just senior trips. So that's just for the senior trips. There's other trips that the bus takes. But
No. there's
if
not.
they go over the budgeted amount, then they have the money to pay for the gas to take the extra trips they wanna take. That's the way I understood that it was set up.
Which makes no sense, because it's all the same pot, just put it in the pot and pull it out when you need it. But anyway,
That was just my,
I'll have
I was
Cindy
just
count that.
asking,
no,
It's
let's
over
just do it at
100%.
budget. When it comes to budget time in September, we'll worry about it then.
Under the historians under grounds, I thought that she actually put a bid for $1,500 and was awarded that bid. How are we over?
Wait, I asked that question. Hold on. Where's?
I did too.
I did ask. Okay, the building and repairs and maintenance, okay, the contract, it should actually be $1,500. So for income for that, we had, 300 because of the risk assessment. So, our contractor charged all of her, just gave us one bill, she didn't itemize. So she had to pay the risk assessment percentage on the whole thing. So essentially, she has, we pay it out, pay out the 1,500, and then she has to pay back in we take the 300 back. So all of it's in here, so we only paid her the $1,500. We are over on that line item now by $130.
So she paid back
She paid back
$400 or
But where-
$300. Okay.
Are you seeing different numbers than we are? Because I don't understand how
Well,
that.
because you're not seeing any income.
Yeah.
What she
So
put back in is not
let
reflected
me.
here.
Where's?
She
Sorry.
paid us back. We paid her and she gave us money.
And that's
So because
not
we don't show
reflected.
revenue, which is not the
Which
proper
is
way to
impossible
do
actually
it.
look at a budget.
Yeah.
I think
So
it's hard to
so
do
this
it in
is
this
plus
book.
$300
We wanted to do
that
it on the same
Heather paid
sheet.
back.
And
Yes.
That's
I
the
think that
revenue
this
in
is
this
gonna
line.
work that
Just-
way.
So that makes this. Let's see. It was only 300. So it's 16.
I'm glad you got told.
So she's so that we're over budget by
Yeah,
$130.
But if she put a bid out for a certain amount, how can we go over?
That's a
A
great
line
question.
I don't know why we're over the 130. That I'll have to ask.
Because if she's putting a bid, then she can't
I-
be charging us hourly. I'm
That's
very.
why I asked.
Payment was
It
in
might
that
have-
warrant, and I didn't think it was over.
It might have been for supplies. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
okay.
And like I said, I got this information this morning, so I have to go back and look at those
Because
bills.
if we do have an agreed upon contract that I know we do, then and we've paid out additional money, the money needs to be reimbursed by the contractor. $130.52. And why we would have even paid out an extra $130.52 and not said, wait a minute, this is over our contract budget, is kind of beyond me. Not that that's anybody's fault in this room, but
we do sign the warrants.
I'll go back and look at all of the charges for that. I kind of had a theory that because it's the same contractor does our sign maintenance, and we did not get a bill for the signs.
and that's 150, right?
No, I think that's $275,
275.
but we haven't gotten that yet, so I'm gonna see what happens when that comes in. So she might not have divided those yet. That could be the case too.
The whole 19 could just be her bill in total, and we just don't have it in the right places yet? Is that what you're getting at?
That's income and expense, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
but she's billed us for the signage, but it's just not in the sign
That's what I'm
line
wondering,
because
what, if that
it just came as a big bill?
That's what I'm wondering, and I
Okay.
have to check the old bills, go through them to figure that out.
Okay, that would make sense.
But I will research that further.
Okay.
Fire department uniforms?
That one I've got nothing.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's only gonna get worse because there were more jackets bought in the last warrant that we just passed?
That's on this
We're
year's.
significantly under other places.
Yeah, I mean, they're way under
I'm
budget,
not
but
sure
they're at,
which
what,
one.
74%?
Yeah.
Really? We'll see this both in that packet.
Right.
So I'm not, too wound up about it.
So
I
we,
mean,
we
they
budget
bought-
500 for inoculations and physicals, and we spent $17.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
I
typical
mean,
for that line item. We don't spend a lot of money out of that line
Would it
item.
not be better to have a fund for that stuff so that we don't raise it by taxes every year, then send it back? and
It's the
raise it?
same with the lost wages, and
Yeah.
I have thought about this before and got shot down.
What's that? The lost wages line item?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Every year
Fire
we-
pond maintenance never got used.
I think the lost wages line item, we continue to ratchet down a little bit every year. We don't ever get rid of it, but we ratchet it down
Yeah.
significantly. In the fire pond maintenance, and maybe Michelle can correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't we put some money in there for, because we were supposed to get one done and maybe had matching funds for
We
it
really
even?
have to get them done. There's no
Yeah.
choice.
Ooh, yeah.
And the idea that Todd had expressed to me was doing one a year, which is dredging them out.
Which is why we put $4,000 into this
I think
budget.
he wanted to add some dry pumps.
That's gone now, though.
That's right.
Well, unless he did it in the last month.
Yeah, not seen anything in the warrants for that, unless the bill hasn't come in, but
Well, who was responsible for
Lost wages
dredging the mill down here? Would that have been George's family, or would that be the fire
That would have
department?
been- The fire pond used to dredge it. I mean, the fire department used to dredge it.
did that get dredged?
I don't, was it last year or
It's
two?
2 years ago.
Was it
Yeah.
2?
2 years
Carrie
ago.
Tyler did
That's
that,
my
didn't he?
driveway down
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there. It is.
I believe you.
2 years.
That up your driveway.
We can bring it back up to you when they dredge it. But
That's
it's,
too
That's over
bad, because
$5,000.
that
that's
would
gone.
be, that's Todd's responsibility to hire someone and do that. And utilize that line item.
It just seems strange. That's $5,000 we're charging people taxes on that we're not using. So next year we gotta charge them again, and we probably,
Yeah, because this money that doesn't get used does not go back to defraying taxes like it used to.
So this is something that when we go through budgets every single year, we try to refine how we do it a little bit better with our department heads and everybody, because all of us forget because we have 1,000 other things to do. Needs to make a mental note about these things, and then obviously it'll show on our budget sheets when we get them come September, October. But we need to bring these things forward to department heads when they falter on doing a maintenance item that we budget for. There's only so much we can do as literally volunteers. I don't care if we get paid or not, but based on the federal government, we are volunteers by the hours that we put in and how much we get paid. To make sure that these people are doing the right things. So when they're not doing the right things, we need to utilize Michelle in her position, which we have before, and we'll do several times again, to make corrections to, I don't want to say behavior, but make corrections to their managing their pool of money.
I think that it would be good to see these budget reports more frequently through the year. I mean, I see one every month for the library. I know every month where we're at. And not, and that would be picked up, like the year's progressing, that hasn't
Yeah,
been
where is
spent,
that?
are you gonna
Yeah.
do something?
I agree. Let's
have it the first of
let's
every
ask
month.
Cindy to do those quarterly for us, please.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Quarterly? Yeah,
Yes, yes.
that would be good.
And what do we have to do to start showing
Okay.
revenue on these things? Because this is,
You know, it
That's
may
dumb.
be their
Put it in
system that doesn't, revenue is always kept very separate. Cause that's how my library stuff comes through too. It's never. in-
I'll work with Cindy and see if we can figure out a way to do
'Cause
that,
the-
that isn't super time consuming.
Is this just an Excel spreadsheet, or what is
No,
this?
this is
No.
through
This come from
Nemrick.
Nimmer?
This is
Okay.
a report that they print out, yeah.
And maybe we could look into setting up a fund for like lost wages and physicals and inoculations, put the money in there 1 year, and if we don't use it, we don't have to raise it next year, because
Yes,
it's a fund.
yep. A designated fund
Yeah.
and,
For lost wages and physicals?
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, you could
For a lot
replenish
of
it if
those
it did get
things,
used, but if it doesn't, we're not gonna keep asking for it again every
Yeah.
year.
For the fire department?
Yeah. What about, they did?
they used $85 of it for physicals, but, so that's still 415 that,
Where's,
And that's something else that we've brought down.
Yeah,
by
we
like
have,
A
we
couple
have.
$100 every year, because I think originally that line item was around $1,000.
it was.
Really, we should
1,050.
probably be encouraging them to send people to have physicals before there's
Oh,
an
yeah,
insurance
absolutely.
issue.
We
Yeah.
should.
I agree.
you know what, I kind of backtracking a little bit, because I had a question, on the second page, because, okay, there's, emergency repairs and replacement, we have 10 grand, of which we use very little. And then in general expenses, there's like maintenance and repair, only because of things that need to be done around here that don't get done. Can they come out of any of those?
They can, but you gotta find somebody that will come do it.
Okay.
All we gotta do.
Okay.
We did spend all of our repair, I think the
Yeah.
emergency repair and replacement, we used that last year because we had some bigs, we had the septic issue.
Yeah.
We had the boiler, we had like the flooding in the select board
Mhm.
room. This year we didn't have that, so, but we did spend it down our maintenance and repair
Yeah.
pretty well. We got some of those jobs done. Some of that, we're over a bit because some of it will be moved into the technology upgrade, because all of Bill Vermouth's, our computer stuff is in that line item.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Oh,
and
yeah,
we did
that's
a lot of computer upgrades this year, which included some labor
Yeah.
costs for installing Windows 10. It
Yeah.
included changing the computers, so we're gonna look a little more closely at what he did for certain things rather than on his contract, to bring that down. So Cindy thinks that might even out once it goes back into technology upgrade.
Yeah, that
Cause I
makes a lot
pretty
more
much spent
sense.
down the technology upgrade line item when I was talking to Bill about what we were doing for new computers and for the upgrade for the email. We spent a lot of labor on that to
yeah.
get done, and didn't quite, and the Windows 10 that we transferred into. And we didn't quite have enough left in his expenses in that line item to get one more computer that we needed. So I know that we should be pretty close.
We used to have an emergency repair and replacement fund, but we moved into the paper one, so then it had to be $10,000.
Oh, into the capital fund?
Maybe, no, there's an emergency fund that we have, has to be $10,000 for us to spend money out of.
Yeah, that's the
That's a
emergency, yeah, that is a
That's a
fund.
fund.
That is, and that,
Yeah.
so that took
Yeah.
the emergency repair and replacement fund that we had, that you didn't have to spend $10,000. They took that money and put into that fund. And maybe we need to look at having that fund back.
Well,
Because again, we're raising
Or a
$10,000.
small, right, because 2 years ago, we didn't use the $10,000.
Right.
So you're talking about changing the stipulations of the fund from $10,000 to zero?
No, just
So-
putting maybe a different fund in.
Yeah.
I
Why
thought-
wouldn't we just change the stipulations of the current fund?
Well, you have two funds in that. One is for the big stuff. But that would be fine too, because we're pretty careful about what we're spending money on now.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't used to be so careful. What do you thought?
I thought that this was developed because the select board a few years ago wanted budgets to be tight and not to be planning in case. I need this in case
In
this
case.
happens. And so if you did have a breakdown or
An
an
emergency.
emergent problem, that's where it was gonna come out of, instead of every budget inflating a little, just in case something happened. So they were supposed to be tight on their budgets, and that was there for problems.
But there
Well,
again, we're planning on, it
yeah.
might happen. So if we had a fund We wouldn't have to raise it, we wouldn't have to tax people for it every single year.
No, this
Where
is
it's
true.
$1,000
Right.
minimum expense or something, you mean just a smaller amount
Yeah,
of expense?
No, it should be zero. If it's,
Cause I
If
think
it's an
one year,
emergency, just
right.
discretionary.
yeah.
I think one year, like, I thought the fire department used some of that one year for a pump on the pumper truck, or the, brush truck, or there was something
There was something else.
that they,
Yeah, that was just what, last year,
a
maybe?
couple of years
It wasn't
ago
that
or
long ago,
Just
I remember
rolls
that
in.
one. Yeah. So the only other one that I,
Funds are a great idea.
the only other one that I noticed is the truck repair is 150% on road equipment, and the prior year carryover, basically none of that was touched
Did you
under
know
that same fund. It's page 6, or under the same budget.
I think we missed the sheriff's department. They actually saved us money this year, so thank you.
4 cents.
Yep.
Did you have an answer for the auditors?
The auditors, I do
Yeah.
have an answer, actually. They have already started their audit for this year.
Okay.
And we've gotten 2 bills from them for the current year's work, which Cindy will move into this fiscal year's.
Oh, okay, so
she'll-
that's why
she'll
that
note
went over their
Yep,
contract?
that's why it went over, okay.
Makes sense.
So they build us ahead for the next round.
Same thing under the town garage operation with the drug alcohol testing. Same thing with the physicals.
Couldn't do that with fireworks last year. We were told we couldn't get the bill early. Because then it would have to be paid in that current budget year, but we can push that one forward into July?
That's a question for Cindy.
Maybe because the fireworks was a vote at the town.
So is the
No,
money
it's a
to,
separate
so is the
article.
money to have an auditor?
It wasn't a separate article, was it?
The auditors?
The fireworks was an
Wow.
article.
I don't
This is
know.
an article.
Shouldn't matter, money's money. If you can't push one forward, you can't push anything forward. But, okay.
Alright.
So do we have an answer on the truck and the prior year carryover for,
I
on
do
page 6
not
at the
have the
bottom?
answer on that one. That one I will get.
That's truck repairs, I'm assuming, so are we spending a ton of money repairing something that we should be replacing early? Or replacing more quickly? That would be my question, I guess. If we dumped $5,000 extra into a piece of equipment that needs to go instead of being repaired.
Well, it was the same with the van maintenance. That was 159%. That, when we were questioning that budget, I specifically asked that question, whether we needed more money in there, or was this van in good repair, everything, and then we went $590 over that budget.
I wanna say, did we put tires on the van this year?
I don't think so. We put tires on a fire truck.
Okay.
We sure
Do
did.
that.
Yes, we did. I saw that bill today.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing,
But the prior year carryover in that same, we're not utilizing it. So why did we carry it over?
We have to, if it's highway.
We do?
That's the law. They don't, that stays in the highway budget. So it's very important to keep those numbers as tight as you can, because that does not go back into the general budget, like every other. If there's anything left over anywhere else, that goes into the general budget. And that's what Cindy talks about, is building up enough to pay the next month's bills
Yes.
before they come. The highway is not included in that. So anything left over in highway stays in the highway.
Do we have to carry it over?
Yes. It has to stay in the highway.
That's actually good though, because it doesn't get taken away every year, it's not spent.
Just in the highway.
That's what I mean, yeah. I mean,
So
that's-
should we, I mean, I'm just looking at this specific, line item. We wouldn't have to budget anything for the next 2 years. and we could use that carryover.
I'll make sure that the carryover available is in your budget worksheets next
Yeah,
year.
because that's, if that's, whatever it is, $38,000, that
Yeah.
whole road equipment repair and maintenance budget is that line is 35. So if we're gonna give budget half and have 2 years paid for,
Remember, this is still a month away from the end of all of
Yeah.
the bills, so,
Yeah.
I'll make sure that you have all of that, the final one for the fiscal year in your hand before you have the budget worksheets, which is only 3 months away.
Right,
Actually,
dude.
the tires
enough for that.
probably are not in here yet.
And same thing with the town garage on
Really?
drug and alcohol,
Fire
same thing with
department?
the fire department physicals.
Yeah.
There's $500, they're
Oh, that's
not
right,
being
that was fire
used, and
department,
just
not
like the
highway.
fire department physicals, I would
Right.
kinda like to know that our people that are on the roads driving our expensive equipment are.
Physically.
that is for their CDL physicals,
Which are required.
and those are every 2 years, I think.
If they don't have a health issue, it's every 2 years.
Yeah, if they have a high blood pressure or something like that, they gotta do it every year.
Right, but that's drug and alcohol test, is that part of the CDL?
Yes.
Yes,
That's what that is?
yeah, it's part of CDL as well. They're two separate charges, I believe, between the physical and the drug and alcohol, if I remember right. So I used to have to deal with that a later with my truck drivers. So, all right, any other questions?
I'd like to point out some good news on the sheet, on page 3. If you look under buildings and grounds, we have saved about maybe $4,000 by the end of the year on our electric bill. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
That is thanks to the solar array that we joined.
Wow.
Started in August.
I was gonna say, we joined the solar array, Chris was still chair when we joined the
But it
solar
went
array.
online.
So it was probably 5 years ago when we signed that contract, I think.
I was here, it was 3 years
I
Was it 3 years ago?
No, I wasn't sitting through meetings
I was
5 years
here.
ago.
Because I was here when
Okay.
it started and
Look
I
at all
went to
the
the
fun you were
meetings.
missing.
I know.
It looks all.
It just feels like 5 years ago.
And then it took another year and a half or so for it to actually get built and go
Okay.
online.
It's great.
It's actually
We're
saved.
getting a return on our lack of investment, so we didn't pay anything for it. So, we have any other questions? I want to get Carrie out of here, but I wanted to make sure you guys got through your questions first.
Yeah, no, I'm anxiously waiting to find out about
So-
this here.
As you all know, we sent the school board an invoice for $6,000 per the leading of our town attorney, Larry Slayson, because we started out with the whole mowing issue. And that the school could mow for us and blah, 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 and that was somebody's idea on the school board. And we said, that's great, so we took $6,000 out of our budget. Well, come to find out, we can't do shared services in that respect. So we said, okay, what do we do? What's our next steps? You guys all went through this, so I'm just recapping for Chris, because he wasn't here at that time.
I was watching from a distance.
Yeah. So we said, okay, what do we do? And we started looking at options, and one of the other things that we do for the school is plow, because the rec department's there. We can share that service because the rec department's there. So we said to ourselves, if we don't have the $6,000, well, we can just build a school for the plowing that we do for them. That idea was approved by the town attorney and was cautiously approved by the Agency of Education. He said it'd give him cause for pause, but would have to understand more details to be able to approve it. So that's how it was kind of left. We thought we were good to go. We sent the bill to the school. The school in turn took a vote last week. Was it last week?
Last week,
The
yeah.
school board took a vote because they felt that it would not be in compliance with the Agency of Education to not pay our bill. So they are not going to be returning the $6,000 to the town budget for the mess that was created. So thankfully, we are not in a budget deficit this year, so we don't have to explain that to our residents when it comes to meeting time. But that's where that lies. So that's all I have to say about that.
Did the AOE actually say no, or is that just a caution that you guys are taking?
We are taking it as a caution from them. The issue really comes down to, we did not go out to bid for a contract. We didn't say, please do this for us here. You know, we didn't follow procedure. Just as you guys sign contracts, we didn't. So we're sort of left going, we didn't ask for this service to be done. We didn't go about it the proper way. We didn't do any request for proposals. We didn't put it in our budget. So there's no good paper trail here to make sure that we've done things properly. So we felt that by paying the bill, we would be putting ourselves in a bad spot. And we realized by not paying the bill, we're putting you in a bad spot. So there's no good way out on this one.
And you're talking about the plowing part.
The plowing part.
Billed for plowing.
Right.
Yes.
So why do we plow over there?
So why do we? I'll answer that question.
You
We actually do a couple of things over there. We take care of their trash, we take care of their plowing. And the reason that we do that is because we have the rec department within the four walls, and historically, the school's tax rate is so much higher than the town's tax rate. It makes sense for our residents to pay a lower tax rate for those services that we can share because the rec department exists. So that's why we've always done it.
Yeah.
With no charge to the school, because we can share those services because of the rec department's existence, and at the lower tax rate, it just makes sense for our residents to pay less taxes to do the things that need to get done. So that's why it's been done in the past.
But to clarify, Gene, the only reason that we went in this direction to bill them is to try to get whole on the landscaping part.
Oh, I know
Not
that.
to
I know
bill
that.
them for it,
Yeah.
but
Right.
as a way, it just
Right.
didn't work.
Yeah.
Right, I know what you were doing.
I
Should
don't know
we?
the answer to that question.
Do we have a contract with you for the rec being there?
That is a very good question. I know that we have a rental agreement.
Is the
But-
rental agreement on paper?
That would, no. Is that something we all should be looking into?
Maybe.
It would be a
Set
school
up
board
rate.
function as the leaser to the
Okay.
town, but yes, it would, if these are the concerns that the school board has, I would definitely suggest that we have contracts
Contracts, I would
instead of
totally agree.
instead of agreements moving forward,
Yes,
because,
I would like things
I mean,
voted.
yeah, I mean, we don't have a contract, so we technically didn't have to pay you for the school contract, because, yeah, we don't have a
It's only around
contract,
$6,000.
but, so we did.
Just
It's-
write a contract.
Well, we
Yeah.
could have taken the $6,000 out of that and just gave them the remainder.
Well, that was actually.
That was option B.
Thanks for making that aside. The school district actually agreed to that,
Oh, boy.
and so did we. But we went this other way, and but I don't know why we didn't
There was
continue
some
on
reason
down that
we
road.
dropped that. That was the first thing.
I don't know. I think that was
Yeah.
that was the AOE.
That was like 6 months ago.
The AOE made us drop that one, I think.
Yeah, there was a
Okay.
reason that we went from that to.
The only solution that the AOE was kind of okay with was the billing of the plowing.
So your board's hands are more tied than ours are.
Oh, yes,
God,
yes. Yes, we have many agencies we report to.
Yeah, that is,
Okay, thank you.
So that's that. Does anybody else have any questions regarding budgets? Can we move on to our cemetery deed? All right, let's move on to our cemetery deed. Thank you for coming, Carrie.
You are
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
You wanna make that motion?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve and sign the cemetery deed for Scott Lane for lot 122, sites A through D in North Cemetery.
Second. What? Did you?
You look confused.
No, I know.
Okay, moved and seconded to sign the cemetery deed for Mr. Lane.
I'm not the only one here.
Any discussion? Do you have a question?
No.
Okay. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay.
I think we might want to table it, sorry.
Okay.
Um,
We already took a vote, yeah.
I know. But nothing else.
Can you approve it with conditions?
Yeah,
The
approve
way I
with conditions,
understand it
right.
from Tim is it's quite an emergency to get
Okay.
this done, that's why it's an
Um,
addition to the
yeah.
tonight's.
Just ask him that when he says the amount, he needs to show how much is for the cornerstone separately, because otherwise, if he wants to sell it back to the town, we'll have to pay him $800 for it.
Can you approve it with that change?
Do you know what how they usually do it then?
No, yeah, it's usually, it's my boss supposed to do it. Yeah, with just a clarification of the amount for these cornerstones.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can't, so.
We could sign the second page, because the first page is
Can
where the
we,
mistake
can we
is.
make the corrections that we need to make with a pen and then sign it?
Yeah.
And then we'll all have to come in at some point and sign the good copy.
Okay.
Just that way Tim knows that we're good with this, otherwise he's gonna have no clue. We're just gonna kick it back at him. And because of the situation, we need to get it done.
Okay.
Oh, needs it now.
So am I hearing you that we need to
Yeah.
stop in tomorrow
Yes.
morning?
Sandy made the corrections.
Yeah,
Just. no.
We can move forward and ratify it at a,
okay, don't sign this one.
Don't sign this one?
He said to stop him tomorrow.
Yeah, but
well, no, we need to sign that one because of the time frame.
All right.
Tim needs it tomorrow.
All right, you know what, do me a favor, sign it and initial the changes, and that's a legal document right there.
Except it's scratchy.
It's,
It's fine.
well, it's your scratchy.
It's readable.
You have to, do we all put the
Yeah.
I would,
initial?
yes, just like you would in a regular contract.
Okay.
I would just initial.
Only when you put it in the land records, you really want to have it right, because they're not gonna know. how
If
to-
he-
Okay,
if he
we'll
wants to
add both
attach-
of them, and we'll
Yeah.
put a nice neat one in the records.
Yeah, if he wants to attach the
But
nice neat one to this one, that's
Initial
fine.
I would-
your notes.
Just so they
Just
can move
talk about
forward with,
You have to initial
Okay,
your
with
notes.
his,
All right.
You have to initial that.
Sandy, could you just initial the notes, please?
No,
Initial the note.
all right.
I kinda
It's
wanna,
initial.
I kinda wanna go home tonight. Can you just?
That's a first.
What's that? Smart aleck. I'm hungry, that's why.
What, you didn't bring any cookies?
Nobody brings me anything. I just starved
You're
to
so
death.
abused.
The night that they all had cookies on that.
Oh, thanks, Sandy.
You're welcome.
You know how old these are? I think these have been here for about 3 years.
No, not quite.
Christmas time.
Pat, those have been there since town meeting, that's when they'll show up.
Okay. Okay, so the next thing on the agenda is adding a deputy health officer. Mark would like an additional officer because his current officer is kind of out of town on the, a lot of times, which leaves him with one deputy, which is kind of tough for him through the winter months, and people do have jobs, so they're not as available as would be beneficial to him, so he'd like to add an additional one, and he does have a candidate in mind.
I move that we add an additional deputy health officer.
Second.
moved and seconded to add a deputy health officer. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed?
So that'll
Okay.
be 3.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I put an ad out for that
Oh.
this week.
And just so everybody is aware, I should have made this clarification, it doesn't cost us anything.
Well, they would have to just divide what they have.
Yeah. Vernon and Guilford collaboration, do we have anything additional about that?
No,
I don't think so. Okay,
I don't have my contract back yet. so-
yeah, she doesn't. So we'll skip the contract as well. Sheriff's contract re-signed, so there was, what, a comma that was supposed to be a period. And a screw up on how many hours.
A period that was supposed to be a comma.
Period that was supposed to be a comma.
It was supposed to be $6,777 and $6.77.
I like that one better.
So do I.
And the hours were changed, and I did double check everything to make sure it was the same contract, and a period was added at the end of the paragraph.
Okay, Mr. Chair, I move that we re-sign, that we sign the sheriff's corrected contract.
Oh, it is a period.
So who kicked this is something you caught, or that's something that they
This
caught?
is actually something that Tim was recording it and caught the 2,000 hours a week mistake, or a month. Under 3B, that was the big mistake.
So my
But this is-
question is that we're beyond the June 30th deadline, so
But the contract extends if we don't have a signed contract.
So we currently have.
And this is just correcting typos. We technically do have a contract because it was typos. But the typos really bothered the sheriff's office, so they asked if we would just re-sign.
Of course it did, because we're paying them $6 instead of $6,000.
For 2,000 hours. a month.
I really like
It should be
$6.
66 hours a day.
All right. So did we got a motion and did we get a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded to sign the revised sheriff's copy. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right. I should know this.
You should.
The day
I'm
before.
kind of worried about you.
Yeah, I should know that. Okay,
Is that
so
That's just it.
road and bridge standard signature. This is the thing that we all looked at, really didn't have any changes to it, so we need to sign it for the state.
no vote, just go? No.
Mr. Chair, I move that we sign the town road and bridge standards pay document.
second.
Moved and seconded to sign the road and bridge standards document. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Sign away. Kristen. That phone never rings during a meeting. That's funny.
Oh, excuse me.
I don't know what extension things it down here.
That was my next question. Why does it?
He's in there, Deputy Whittle.
Well, I
I
get
should give that
calls,
to tomorrow.
people
Coffee.
trying to call me about offices. I'll try and call the treasurer.
Alright. Thank you. There you go. All done. Public participation on non-agenda items, please. Seeing none. Correspondence and town admin report, please.
You have some correspondence in your packet, but I will add to that the, what is this called? If you read up on the Sensible Timely Relief for America's Nuclear Districts Economic Development Act of 2017, which is an update from the Stranded Act of, 2017, which is an update from the 1982
Stranded Act.
Stranded Act, which would provide for financial compensation to communities that are that are temporary storage sites for spent nuclear fuel.
So we're gonna get money?
That's what it would be. Well, this would be.
Since 1982, we were supposed to be getting money.
This would be, another try at it, the big push for which was pretty immediate, was to, try to get Bernie Sanders to back the bill, which,
And he did.
Josh wrote a letter really quick, and he did, so.
I didn't write a letter. Michelle wrote a letter and I signed it.
And Michael Root also wrote a letter
Yes.
that I wrote that he signed. It was a very quick, they had to have it like the next day or something.
Yeah, we got an
and
email from
we-
Bernie's camp, said, we need this tomorrow.
He sent it out and, it worked, so that's good. If we can, this is the fourth time I think I've done this stuff, so.
From
Michael and I
Welsh
were
to-
also able to speak with Congressman Welch on Friday last week, and this was brought up during that as well. so.
Oh,
Thank you.
Congressman Welsh got letters from us last year. He didn't get letters from us this year regarding it, I don't think, though.
No, we literally did that in
Yeah.
like 20 minutes.
Yep.
Oh,
Yes,
So,
I remember.
just lucky that you could find Mike. And the outstanding invoice I spoke about last time has been paid in full. So that's all set. And I have been spending most of my time researching grants and trying to take advantage of this slightly slower time before we gear up again with budget season.
Budgets are 2 months away, people.
Yep, September we usually start.
Bite
Sorry.
your toe.
Well, I got
Friday,
this, so
summer.
I'm out for the rest of the year.
Not coming
That's
anymore.
all I've got.
Uh,
And all these notes that you're getting today were very helpful, and we'll try to include those in worksheet formatting and that kind of thing.
Okay.
I'll work with Cindy on that.
Upcoming meeting schedule, there's a correction on your notes. It should be the 23rd.
July 23rd?
Yep. All right, we are adjourned.